But I would take that further and suggest that gravitation has a Machian characteristic, since it's based on information, the universe arranging itself around the density of information. Once you throw a bunch of crap down into a potential black hole, that information, that matter, is pulling itself away from the rest of the universe, and the gravitational attraction it feels to itself, to all the other matter in the black hole, is not just an interaction among the matter in the black hole itself, it's also due to an interaction, informational exchange with the rest of the matter in the universe. And if you throw everything down a black hole so that it's apart from the rest of the universe, the squashy force that wants that thing to collapse into a black hole is attenuated, because the rest of the universe can't work its mojo on that matter. So all this stuff kind of combines to make it that you can't have actually black holes. You can only have blackish holes. And these are holes that are super collapsy, and holes that would, bodies, very dense bodies, that would certainly kill you if you tried to, go into orbit around them at a close enough distance, pulled apart like spaghetti. They're very black, but it's only blackish. That under traditional theory, it's really hard to get information out of a black hole, because that information, except through hocus-pocusy ways, would have to travel faster than the speed of light to get out of the black hole, and nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. But a blackish hole in an informational universe, because the structure of the universe is built from information, and it's possible to get information out of any body that's part of the universe. Nothing is entirely black.
What was the response from the general public? Was that here in Los Angeles when they saw the banner?
No, this was over Boulder, Denver on April 5th, 1986, which is also the day that I met Carol, my wife.
Oh. Did she see it?
No, but she heard about it, and then somebody told her. I'd had a bad breakup 2 years earlier. I'd been going out with an angry girl, a muscly angry girl, and we were bouncers together at a huge bar in Boulder, and she dumped me for another bouncer. And when we were together, we'd had quite a bit of. She was kind of hair triggery. It was easy for her to get angry, and I was kind of.
I can understand that, by the way.
All right, I was
She's
kind of
probably a very reasonable person.
Yeah, well, anyway, I was always on edge, and we had sex sometimes, and the combination of apprehension and danger and sex it left a permanent impression on me. So even 2 years later, I was still bummed out about the breakup. And so to try to bring myself out of this funk, I gave myself a weekly assignment to do something stupid and a little bit pointless. And for that week, it was to go to a Jewish singles dance. Flying the equation wasn't pointless. It was ridiculous, but not pointless. But later that day, when I went to the dance, that was, I knew, pointless, because I'd been to Jewish singles dances before, and they are not good. But that's where I met her. I knew they were not good, but I'd forgotten, or I didn't realize that the not goodness can work in your favor, because if everybody's kind of awful, you can stand out as being somewhat less awful. And I'd like to think that that's what my wife and I did among everybody.
One quick question about light, speed of light. What is light made of?
Well, light is a self kind of propelling or perpetuating disturbance in the electromagnetic field.
Is it a physical property?
Well, I can explain it in my terms. If I weren't so shitty, if I hadn't been such a shitty student, I could explain it in terms of Maxwell's 4 laws of electromagnetism. But I can tell you roughly that photons propel themselves through space via an oscillating interaction between an electrical and a magnetic field that kind of propels itself onward, which isn't helpful in terms of understanding what it is. But the way I understand it is in terms of information. That, say, an electron and a proton find themselves in close proximity. After they get close to each other. And under certain conditions, the electron can emit a slug of energy, which is the photon, and fall into orbit around the proton, or around a nucleus that contains a lot of protons. Protons and electrons are electromagnetically attracted to each other, which I would say informationally is that when they get close to each other, they have something in common informationally, that there's something important informationally about the electron and the proton being close enough to lock into orbit around each other. And they send out an announcement to the rest of the universe that says, we've established a relationship. That announcement it takes the form of the photon, which travels, if it doesn't run into anything, can travel for 10 or 15 or 20 billion light years. And in fact, if it's on the surface of a planet, if it can get past the atmosphere, it's likely to keep going for billions of light years, because only 1/1 trillionth of the sky is covered by the disk of a star. That is, if you were shooting bullets at random into space, you have to shoot roughly 1 trillion bullets before a bullet hit a star, as opposed to empty space. So proton and electron get together, they send out an announcement, say, hey, we're together, everybody cool with that? And if the photon travels undisturbed, kind of more or less forever, that's the equivalent of the universe saying, yeah, we're cool with that. However, if the photon is absorbed by some other bit of matter, maybe an electron orbiting a proton, that's informationally equivalent saying, no, bro, we've got a problem with this, and you've caused a disturbance here. So I view it all in terms of information, of the universe, each part of the universe sharing information with every other part of the universe.
So would it be what's the word I'm looking for? A stupid idea that if some way man was able to shrink himself into a photon or a proton and then jump on the back of light, and that would be a way to travel the universe?
Well, hold on, I'm a liberal, so I have to say if a man or a woman.
Or a woman, sorry, a person, I should say, or a transgender or a lesbian so what if a person could, is that a preposterous idea?
Well, that's how Einstein worked out special relativity.
Oh.
He wondered what would the world look like to somebody riding a photon.
Oh.
And so, no, it's not a dumb idea. It's only the smartest idea in the history of the world. So,
Wow.
good job.
Thank you.